It says that this nation has cinnamon and odors, meaning perfumes, ointments, frankincense, wine, oil, flour, wheat, beasts, sheep, horses, chariots. Here it goes. Slaves and the souls of men. So this nation not only has multiple nations within her and is the richest nation based off of her goods, but this nation was known for selling slaves, which America did, and then it said the souls of men. We know that America is pervasive in the states and outside the states for child and human trafficking. Human trafficking is the fastest growing portion of Homeland Security.
Hello, welcome to War Room with the Walkers. We believe that Jesus is alive with fresh wind, fresh fire, and fresh living water. Visit us at revivalcenter.live.
A high degree Freemason, not the first 1, 2, 3, but the 33rd degree, high degree Freemason, which is also part of the Illuminati. He sent over part of what was worshipped, which was Ishtar, the mother of harlots, the Statue of Liberty. Check out everything that I'm telling you. So let's go into different ways that I know that this is the United States. Well, what are some characteristics of the United States? And I'm going to break it down in scripture, how I know it's this nation. And it's not even about me, it's to let you know, because there's a warning in here about the persecution of Christians that is to come in this nation of America. Number one, this nation, America, is a nation of many nations, many peoples, and many tongues. Everybody knows that America is a nation of immigrants, not just the Native American tribes who speak different languages, but there are different nations from all around the world, all people, all tongues in the United States. That's one way we know. Second, richest nation in the world with business, goods, and merchants. That's number two. The third way we know about the United States, wealth and trade from this nation, America, will make all the other nations rich. This is the first time, well, in history, from the known and the unknown world, that there is a nation that makes all the other nations of the world rich. In the past, there were nations like that, but it didn't affect America because America was not discovered yet. America makes the wealth and trade from America, makes all the other nations rich. We are famous for our music. That's number 4. Number 5, we corrupt the whole earth with our fornication. What does that mean? Movies, sexuality through movies. The pornography industry here in America is the most pervasive, invasive pornography industry, and it affects the whole entire world. Number 6 is sorcery and witchcraft in America is famous. The most famous sorcery and witchcraft, thanks to these movies, thanks to Hollywood, is from America. This nation, America, is so powerful with the military might. We are the most powerful nation in the world. You need that type of military if you're going to be the richest nation in the world. However, it is known by people in the military, like myself and other people I talk to, the only way that you're going to be able to destroy America, God forbid, but the only way you're going to be able to destroy America is if, one, it has to be destroyed by a whole league of nations at one exact time. That's the only way, because we're so strong. America is so powerful of a nation. As soon as we get hit, we're going to hit you back, and you're not going to exist. But if a league of nations came together and struck America at one time, complete destruction in 1 hour, that is the only way. So I'm going to talk about that in the scripture as well. And last but not least, this nation, America, has many Christians within her. So all these things I'm going to break down. Let's start with number 1. So where in the scripture does it talk about number 1? Many nations, many people, and many tongues within one nation. Revelation 17 verse 15 says, the angel said to John, the waters under the horse's feet that you see, where the horse sits, are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. So this whore, where she resides, is multiple people with multiple waters. She sits on many waters like the Statue of Liberty, but where she sits is multitudes of nations and tongues. America is the nation with nations in her, multiple nations and tongues. Number 2, the richest nation in business, America, goods and merchants. Let's go to Revelations 18:12. Revelations 18:12 says this. This is what's unique about this nation. This nation has merchandise of gold. That's how the whole West Coast was discovered, was through the gold rush. Silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, purple, silk, scarlet, wood, thine, all manners of inventory, vessels of precious wood. This is ships of precious wood, brass, iron, and marble. But check this out. This is what's significant that connects to America. Verse 13. It says that this nation has cinnamon and odors, meaning perfumes, ointments, frankincense, wine, oil, flour, wheat, bees, sheep, horses, chariots. Here it goes. Slaves and the souls of men. So this nation not only has multiple nations within her and is the richest nation based off of her goods, but this nation was known for selling slaves, which America did, and then it said the souls of men. We know that America is pervasive in the states and outside the states for child and human trafficking. Human trafficking is the fastest growing portion of Homeland Security and ICE to investigate human trafficking, trafficking of children. This whole thing about Epstein that's coming out, the whole thing about just different things I'll talk about later is dealing with human trafficking. But then George Bush had to pass a law to allow for U.S. Marshals and Homeland Security representatives to go overseas to go catch Americans who were trafficking children in other countries. So this shows, number 2 shows not only we're the richest nations in business, goods, and merchants, but it shows the way that we became wealthy was based off of all these goods, all these ships, selling slaves, and selling the souls of men. Purchasing people. Next verse. Let's go. Revelations 18:15. It says, the merchants of all these things, which were made rich by her. The merchants, the people that were made rich by her. This is after this nation falls. It says, they shall stand afar off in fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. So this explains that merchants all around the world are made rich by this nation. Let's go to verse 19. Verse 19 says, these merchants, they will put dust on their head and cry and weep, wailing, saying, oh, alas, oh my goodness, this great city wherein were made rich had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Keep that in mind. I'm going to bring that up later. It talks about, it's a prophecy saying that this place where the whore of Babylon, the Statue of Liberty, sits, will be destroyed in 1 hour. Keep that in mind. Let's go to the next part. Verse 3, it talks about wealth and trade to all the other nations. 18 verse 3 says, all the nations have drunk from the wine of her fornication. Okay. And the kings of the earth committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth were waxed rich through her abundance. So it says that the merchants of the world, the merchants of the earth were made rich by her abundance. Let's go to verse 11. 18 verse 11 says this. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn for her. For no man buys her merchandise anymore. So this is a picture of the merchants of the earth. Every time it talks about the merchants of the earth, it's saying all the merchants all around the earth, and it's at least 4 or 5 scriptures that say this, are made rich by her. But when she falls, this nation falls, all those merchants shall wail and cry because they were made rich by her. Point number 4. Famous for music. I thought it was interesting that verse 4, this nation talks about music. The Bible talks about in Revelations 18 verse 22 says, after this nation falls, the voice of harpers, people playing the harps, and musicians, and pipers, and trumpeters shall be heard no more at thee. So this is specifically talking about the world listening to the music of this nation. And when this nation falls, not being able to hear its music anymore. Famous for music. Number 5, it talks about
music is brought to you by Andre Butler. War Room with the Walkers podcasts and videos can be found at www.revivalcenter.live.